Is there still someone in your life that you haven't forgiven? If so, don't worry, you're not alone. But know this: a person who holds resentment is like someone who's holding hot coals, all the while expecting the other person to be the one to get burned. We can't be holding a resentment and expect to live a life that we love living. We have to be willing to sacrifice the resentment in order to make room to receive the life that we love. Holding on to long-term resentments or emotional patterns takes energy, but the good news is that we can give up the patterns or resentment through our forgiveness practice. Hi everyone, I'm Shauna, and today I'm going to give you 5 powerful tools to free yourself from constriction through the practice of forgiveness. Tip 1 is focusing on forgiveness. Nothing frees our heart more than forgiveness. We won't be able to raise our vibration if we're still holding on to blame, anger, resentment, or betrayal. A life of happiness, health, and abundance is at a different frequency than those resentful feelings. Therefore, everyone has forgiveness work to do. It's a mental, emotional, spiritual practice that opens the door of perception and frees us to live a life that we love living. At the level of fact, many people believe that there are some actions that are just not forgivable. And in the human experience, some people behave in ways that just don't seem worthy of forgiveness. However, one of the most important things to learn about forgiveness is that forgiveness offers freedom. So know this: as long as there's someone being jailed, there has to be a jail keeper. Forgiveness frees the one being jailed, but most importantly, it frees the jailer to a life of greater freedom, joy, and abundance. That's why it's important to start focusing on forgiveness as part of raising your vibration. Tip number 2, every action we take is either an expression of love or a call for love. In the book, A Course in Miracles, there's a very interesting statement, and it says this: every action is either an expression of love or a call for love, no matter how unskillful it may seem. That means that we have to learn to separate the being that has participated in an activity that hurt us from the behavior itself. Our practice is to learn to see past the person who did the behavior into the essence of who they truly are. And remember, each one of us is an energetic spiritual being having a human existence. And now we recognize that we're all operating at various levels of awareness. This doesn't mean that we spend time with people who hurt us or behave in harmful ways, but it does mean that we better understand or have compassion towards others. And speaking of compassion, know that compassion is the beginning of forgiveness. Think about the power of having dominion over how we perceive others and being able to separate their beingness from their behaviors. And if we're able to see every act as either an expression of love or call for love, regardless of how unskillful it may seem, we're able to generate this view of compassion more easily, and it helps us to make forgiveness easier, which helps ultimately to free us. Tip number 3, forgiveness is a shift in perception. A Course in Miracles also highlights this idea that forgiveness is a shift in perception that removes a block in me to my awareness of love's presence. So isn't that interesting that the block was in me all along? Forgiveness takes our blinders off, and it really helps us see what we couldn't see before. Forgiveness enables us to see the love that's always present. It's everywhere present. Tip number 4 is that forgiveness is a process. So know this: forgiveness is not a one-time event. Forgiveness is a lifelong process. Just like a baby learns to walk by falling down and continually getting back up, we learn to forgive by putting one foot in front of the other, continuing to do the work and remembering that with each step that we take, we get a little bit better. Some may also see forgiveness as a layer by layer process, such as peeling an onion or dusting off a layer of dirt from a diamond in the rough. until eventually we get to see the pure essence of the diamond. We may be able to forgive on one level of awareness at a certain time, and then potentially again at a different level of awareness as our own awareness. And there's a foundational quote that my mentor, Mary Morrissey, says. She says, "The content of my life is the curriculum of my evolution." The content in our lives means that we have events or situations that we feel that we're at odds with, or we may be in a situation that we don't prefer. So when we encounter those conditions, we have the ability to shift our perception to a new understanding. And that new perception is that the conflicting content is now the curriculum. And that is the opportunity for us to raise our awareness and therefore our vibration in order to grow ourselves. And this growth is evolution. So as we live from this principle, we allow ourselves to be at this new level of awareness. And finally, tip number 5 is to tune into the infinite side of our nature. Know that we have an energetic, spiritual, infinite side of our nature that's always whole, it's always complete. And that means that there's a part of us that has no need to forgive or no need to be forgiven. The great poet Rumi illustrates this experience and connection in his poem entitled A Great Wagon. So Rumi describes it this way. He says, "Out beyond right doing and wrongdoing, there's a field. I will meet you there." And as we're coming from this infinite side of our nature, we then come to understand that forgiveness is a quality and it's a practice that we're experiencing on this human plane of existence. So forgiveness helps us to navigate this duality of space and time. And that said, sometimes we feel that we've done all the work, that we've forgiven, and we've gotten to a place of understanding and compassion, and yet still, on a human level, the connection seems impossible. And that's when we can take solace in the fact that on a spiritual, energetic plane, our souls understand each other completely. I hope these ideas about forgiveness helps you. And remember that forgiveness is a way to free yourself and raise your vibration. If you have any questions or comments, I would love to hear them in the comments below. And if you like this video, please subscribe, like, and share with your friends. Thank you to all of you who are subscribing and sharing. It's my pleasure to share this knowledge with you. Check out these other videos for more tips. See you next time. Bye for now.